Hey losers, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a review on At Dark I Become Loathsome by Eric LaRocca. This is a little bit longer than some of Eric's other work. So this follows a man named Ashley who has lost his wife to an illness, and after the loss of his wife he also lost, literally, his son. His son went missing, and there has been no discovery of his son nor his son's body. So it's really a mystery as to what happened to him. To cope with this, because obviously this is a lot for anyone to deal with, Ashley, he does two things. He has gotten into certain types of body modification, but also he does this strange sort of ritual with strangers, and it's all very anonymous. They come to him and he performs what is sort of like almost like a rebirthing ceremony kind of a thing. I don't want to get into too many specifics because I'd like for you to read about it yourself if you're interested. But it is, it's really interesting and strange. And this helps these other people who feel very stuck in their lives. And it's a way, it's like these people feel like they want to end it. And so this is, they feel like this is the one last thing that they can do to possibly help that feeling. And so this helps them, and it also is helping Ashley in his grief. So everything's going not great, but everything's going normally at this place in his life until he comes into contact with a man named Jinx, who is propositioning Ashley about this ritual. He wants to have this ritual done. The people Ashley does this for, they typically meet on the internet and then meet in person and do the thing, right? So he comes into contact with Jinx on the internet, and Jinx tells him this very strange story. And that's one thing about this novel that I really enjoyed, is that there are a few stories within this story that different people tell you, and they're like depraved and disgusting and weird, and I really enjoyed that part. It's almost like having a little short story inside this book. So things start to change for Ashley after he comes into contact with Jinx, and he's not really sure why. Like, he hasn't even met this person, but somehow this person is changing the course of his life, and whether it's for the better or for the worse, you can't really tell, because things are just very messed up for Ashley in his life. And it really all culminates when he finally does meet Jinx for this ritual. And I will let you read this and find out what happens. But I did really enjoy this. I thought that, like I said, the stories within the story were my favorite part by far. I thought that that was really interesting. I thought that this ritual that Ashley does with his, I don't know, his clients, I guess, his supplicants, was very interesting. And, uncovering the backstory of Ashley, the story of his wife and his son, was really sad and, obviously full of regrets. But I will say that there were parts of this that I found a little repetitive. For example, the title of this book is repeated throughout the book, At Dark I Become Loathsome, because that's how Ashley feels. He feels like, at least in the beginning of the book, when night comes, he almost becomes like a darker version of himself. like a loathsome creature. And that is just repeated almost too often, I feel like. So I was like, okay, we get it. He feels like, you know, he feels like at night, at dark, he becomes loathsome. We get it. And also with his body modifications, that's brought up a lot. And about how other people might perceive him because of this. And wow, obviously that's true. I didn't feel like it needed to be mentioned, you know, every time he came into contact with somebody else, because it's like, yeah, of course. And I don't even, like, I have facial piercings that aren't even like that uncommon or considered, I don't know, to be like what Ashley has. And you know, you do sometimes, or just like my appearance in general sometimes, as somebody who doesn't I don't know, I feel like these days it's less out of the box because more people dress alternatively, but you get looks, you get questions. A lot of the times it's not bad, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like it needed to be brought up every time. And also more, you know, and you know, it's explored like why he does this, why he feels like he has to do this, and that makes sense. Like, yes, talk about that, but we get that he feels like his he needed to match his outside appearance to how he felt inside, and I feel like we can grasp that without needing to be reminded over and over. So there were a few things that felt repetitive in it, but all in all, I enjoyed reading this. It was definitely depraved. It, yeah, especially those like little short stories. And one in particular, it's like, you dirty, dirty people. Yeah, I really enjoyed that part of it. And, you know, getting to the bottom of like why Jinx felt so magnetic to Ashley, like what's going on with that. That was very interesting. And the end was kind of tragic. So I did really enjoy this. So thank you to the publisher, and thank you, Eric, for reaching out and offering me a review copy. I really enjoyed this. So let me know, have I convinced you to pick this up? Have you read any of Eric's other work? I really find Eric's writing to be like so lyrical, and I know that that's not everyone's cup of tea. I do feel like that was toned back a little bit in this one. So people who maybe previously was like, this is too flowery, maybe this is a good one to pick up for you. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.